didn't tell them they got to fight. Moses simply said to the children of Israel, stand still and watch God work. When you have no fight left, stand still. Not because you're giving up, but because you're giving it all to God. This wasn't Israel's battle to win. It was God's miracle to perform. And while Israel was standing right there, God split the Red Sea open and made a highway. And Israel didn't shout. God didn't do this when Israel moved. God handled his business when Israel stood still in obedience. When you can't move forward and going backward isn't an option and fighting seems pointless, stand still. Let God part the waters. Let him silence the enemy. Let him do what only he can do. Because sometimes the breakthrough doesn't come in the fight. It comes in the faith. Paul, when he was giving us that message that we opened with at Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13 and 14, Paul was having an experience. Paul says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore. Paul didn't say, fight hard. Paul didn't say, go figure it out. Paul said, after you've done all, just stand. Because sometimes standing is the most spiritual thing that you can do. Standing means you didn't quit. Standing means you're still believing. Standing means you're waiting for God to move, even when everything says, walk away. Paul doesn't just tell us to stand. He tells us how. He says, put on the whole armor of God. And tonight, I'm not here to teach on each piece in detail. That's a sermon all in itself. But I want you to know what God gives you when you're too weak to fight. The belt of truth to hold you together when everything around you is a lie. The breastplate of righteousness to guard your heart from bitterness, guilt, and shame. The shoe of peace to keep you grounded when chaos is everywhere. The shield of faith to block the enemy's attacks when your mind is under fire. The helmet of salvation to cover your thoughts when your confidence in God is shaking. And the sword of the Spirit, the word of God, so you can swing the scriptures when you can't speak strength. When you have no fight left, stand in God's armor, not your strength. Because the armor isn't for winning by force. It's not for failing in fatigue. And here's the truth. You don't have to win every battle. You just have to stand long enough for God to win the battles for you. You got to understand more than at any other time in your life that God still provides when you have nothing left. Let's be honest. Some of you aren't just tired. You're running on empty. Not just spiritually empty, but financially, emotionally, mentally, and physically. You're drained. You're not just fighting the enemy. You're fighting for survival. You check your bank account before buying groceries. You rehearse conversations in your head before you, because you're afraid to say how you really feel.